Well, morning. That was a better night's sleep. I slept so well that I didn't even get up to go for a hunt, unfortunately. I was too zombied and I hadn't set my alarm. I was warm, quite comfortable. Tossed and turned a little bit, but so yeah, I haven't been hunting this morning. As you can see, still in my pack, sleeping bag. Basic plan today then, do some breakfast and walk out. There's two ways I could go out. Climb back up to the very top to then walk down the ridge line, which is what you usually do, or go straight down the mole track, which means a lot of walking around down along the river on the rocks and stuff. It's a bit more technical, but it's probably half an hour faster doing that, because you don't have to clamber up the top and get exhausted and sweaty right at the beginning. You can't do the other one if the river is too high, but I don't think it's high at all. Anyway, that's the plan. See you in a bit. So, I'm up. It's cold in here. I'm just getting through some of my gas. My white gas. What I'm doing is just warming up some water to put in my drink bowl. Just get it nice and warm, almost hot. It's going to be sitting on the outside of the pack as I walk back. And if it's too cold, it's not nice to drink. It's much easier to drink warm, tepid water. Just having a cup of soup and a coffee before. The sun is shining, but completely and utterly in the clouds. Very foggy outside, and there's a lot of condensation. I'll show you outside. So, even if I'd gone hunting, well, there would be no point, because I wouldn't have been able to take the shot. It's too, well, I wouldn't have seen anything. It's just too foggy. It definitely feels, I think this is warm enough now. Yeah, turn it off. Just burn off the residual gas. It definitely feels like winter's over though. As cold as it was, that snow, there wasn't that much snow. Only at the very top there was some drift. So what are we today? August the 15th. Southern Hemisphere, winter. August 15th. So I guess it's end of winter then. I mean, it's just been, I guess, more mild. Not enough snow, not as much snow. And it felt spring-like in the sun yesterday. When the sun did pop out, it dried all my stuff really quickly. It dried my tent out. I'm glad I didn't camp up. I'm glad I did come in the hut, because, oh my God, I heard it raining last night a few times on and off. And if you can hear it in the hut, then you definitely have heard it in the tent. Plus, it's much more comfortable sleeping there. So this is a standard four bunk hut. 2 up top, 2 down below, mattresses. All huts here come with a mattress per bunk. They're comfy, they're sealed, so they're clean. They're warm, warmer than sleeping on on the floor, on a sleeping mat, or a sleeping pad. I used my down jacket as a pillow. That blow-up pillow is okay, but it's so light. So I stuffed my down jacket into my sleeping bag, and it was a great pillow. I'll tell you, the down jacket is, I've never bought it before on one of these. But now, whenever I come up the tops, I'm going to take it. It was so warm to put on. I could put it on now even, because it is cold in here. But I put this extra t-shirt on and I'm fine. I slept with just this on. Took a while for my feet to get warm, but that's normal. The bag was cold. I guess the first half an hour, you're just expending energy to warm the bag up. I think, so I didn't bring my sleeping bag liner with me this time. That's the first time in a long time I haven't bought it. And I'd say actually it does make a difference. Maybe just a few degrees, not 8 like it claims. I've got the, what is it? The Reactor, Sea to Summit Reactor Xtherm. It's a good liner, but there's no way it's 8 degrees. I don't know where they came up with that from. That could be very misleading to people thinking, oh yeah, I don't need to get a new sleeping bag. I can just add that to my sleeping bag. No. Adds a couple of degrees of warmth. That's it. At most. If it's really cold, it won't make a scrap of difference, that sleeping bag liner. If your bag isn't suitable for the conditions, then no liner is going to make a difference. Get a proper sleeping bag. Definitely. Know the conditions that you're going into. And don't trust the sleeping bag. If you sleep cold, I think the majority of people do sleep cold. If you sleep cold, because I sleep cold, I don't sleep hot. If you sleep cold, assume the manufacturer, where they say comfort range, assume they're 5 degrees centigrade out. It's just all hype. Who they got to lie in there and test it, God knows. Some guy who sleeps hot, I don't know. Assume it's 5 degrees out. So if the forecast is going to be -10 at the worst, you want a sleeping bag that's -10 Celsius. You want a sleeping bag that says comfort something to -15. If it says comfort to -10, don't believe it. It won't work, honestly. It's a load of rubbish. I know they get heavier, but it's when you're lying in that sleeping bag, oh my God, you'd have gladly carried an extra ½ kilo to a kilo, wherever you've been, to be warm. One night you can get away with it, but if it's a multi-night trip, you've got to sleep. You've got to have a good night's sleep. You've got to be comfortable. So, err on the side of caution. Spend the extra money. Get the extra weight. And if necessary, if you get hot, ventilate the sleeping bag. This one's good because you can vent it at the bottom. You can pull the zip up the bottom, so you can still stay sealed up here, but you can vent at the bottom. But just, yeah, spend the extra money, carry the extra weight. You'd be so stupid to not do that. My poor rifle is a bit wet from yesterday, never really dried out. I use the, so I've got a Sako A7. It's a fantastic rifle. A7. With a Bushnell DOA, 600 DOA scope. Scope's the most important thing on the rifle. This scope has a 1-inch tube, massive. It's calibrated to shoot out to 600 meters, or 600 yards. And it's got a 30 times zoom. I've never used 30 times zoom. I use 20 at most. But the light that comes in from this thing is amazing. It means you can still take a shot when you can't really, with your own eyes, see the animal properly. Because this magnifies the light so much that you can take a safe shot. You can easily make out everything about it. Everything about the deer. The shoulders, the head, everything. Because you're not shooting at a deer, you're shooting at a shoulder joint or the head. Because you've got to be sure what you're shooting at. Usually I bring a suppressor, but I haven't got it with me this time, just to save weight, because I was coming up the tops. And usually I carry a bipod as well. Again, I needed to save the weight. Man, it's cold. And it's fogged up. I've got to retreat the scope. It takes 3-round magazine and 1 in the chamber, but you know, this is New Zealand, you don't have 1 in the chamber unless you're ready to fire or you're stalking, in which case you're just talking about 3 rounds. I've only bought 3 rounds with me, 3 bullets, because anyone who takes, if you're only going after 1 animal, really, do you need more than 3 bullets? You're a crap shot if you need more than 3. At most, I've used 2 to get an animal. And I'm not greedy. I'm not going to take more than 1 animal. So if you find yourself having to take 10 rounds with you, or set, you know, a whole box of rounds, and you're getting through them, then maybe you need to get back to the range and work out how to shoot. Or maybe you're shooting too far and you're not stalking close enough. And when you're actually stalking, you might get through 3 rounds if you're trying to shoot target, but you should only be shooting if you've got it clear in the sight anyway. So 1 round for stalking. I use the Hornady 308 SST 150 grain with the ballistic tip. These things are amazing. The damage that they cause inside is incredible. I mean, they drop a 150 grain, that's all this is. It's going 2,000 feet per second. But a 150 grain will drop a 14-point stag if you shoot it in the shoulder. The explosion inside is incredible. It brings them down. No bullet is going to drop an animal if you just do a flesh wound. That's a fact of life. You're going to be then chasing the thing, trying to get it because you don't want it to suffer. So yeah, SST, Hornady, 150 grain for deer here. It's perfect. Great trajectory. Very, very flat trajectory. I've shot with this, the longest shot I've taken with this is 450 meters. And got it. Nailed it. So it's doable. Definitely doable. And I've got a short barrel. It's not an overly long barrel either. So yeah, I thoroughly recommend 308. The kick, it's okay, it's acceptable. I do prefer firing it with the suppressor on. It's so nice. Much less sound, no kick. It's beautiful to fire. Without it, yeah, the kick's quite strong. But yeah, great round, Hornady. I looked at maybe making my own, but no, it's too much hassle. I don't shoot enough to bother with that. I zero my rifle out to 200 yards. Not ideal for stalking, bush stalking, because there you're going to be 20 yards max, 30 yards. But I don't do a whole lot of that. I like to glass and take my time and watch them for a bit, because it's quite enjoyable to watch them and then kill them. Gosh, I've got all my gear out. So yeah, I've got my PLB, which I showed you. I've got my emergency bivvy bag. I don't like the bivvy blankets. What are you going to do with a bivvy blanket? Wrap yourself in it and have the worst night of your life. This is an actual bivvy bag. A little bit bigger. But Adventure Medical Kits make these. They also do a breathable version, which is a bit bigger, called, I think, the e-bivvy, which might be worth it, but hopefully you'll never ever need it. But that it will save your life. If you're stranded up a hill, you haven't got your sleeping bag or anything, or you're bushed and you have got your sleeping bag and stuff, and it's, you know, chucking with rain, so you can't use it really, you're going to get into one of these and you'll live. You'll have a crap night. You really will. But you'll live. And that's what it's for. It's to help you survive. Without it, yeah, you'd die. Hypothermic. You'd be hypothermic. I mean, you might get hypothermia in this after if you're stuck for a couple of nights. But you'll still be alive. But once you get hypothermia and you don't have one of these, and you haven't got a PLB, yeah, good night. We read about you in the newspaper. You know, a lot of tourists, a lot of trampers come here, hikers. Well, not a lot, but a few come here and die because they're just not prepared. They haven't got the right gear. they are too cheap to fork out on a PLB. So an EPIRB, or a PLB, personal locator beacon, I think this one's about 500 New Zealand dollars. They're expensive. You can rent them, apparently, but I bought one, and the battery lasts 5 years, and you can send it off for a new battery. 500 bucks. Of course it's expensive, but it's your life. Why wouldn't you? You know? Why wouldn't you do it? Occasionally you're meant to test it, and I'll be honest, I haven't tested this thing for a long time, but the battery was meant to be replaced a year ago, I think. I better test it now just to see what it does. So you press the test button and you want to see the flashes. Yeah, that's good. Yep, still working. Okay. Anyway, right, I've got to clear up. So I'll speak to you later. It's 10 o'clock. All packed up. Pack's there, my rifle. I've left the hut nice and clean and tidy. Not like the people who came before me. Sun is shining. It's beautiful. First bit of proper clear blue sky since I started the trip. This is going to be a nice walk down. It's stunning. Still snow up there. Shame I couldn't hunt this morning, but I just wasn't up to it. I was awake. So, see how long it takes. Maybe 2 hours, hopefully, to get down. Fingers crossed, all okay. If I see an animal on the way, it'd be rude not to take it, wouldn't it? But if I do, then I've got to deal with it. But, c'est la vie. All right, see you at the bottom. So, been going 40 minutes. I'm now onto the Mole River. This leads all the way up the top. You can only really do this crossing this mole track when the river's low like this. Can you imagine what this must be like when it's in full flow? The whole thing, you can't cross it. Some people have done it and had to turn back, go all the way back up to the top. That's the ridge right up there. I don't know if you can make it out. It's a long way up. Anyway, 40 minutes to here. That's not bad. I've dropped a few hundred meters already. I think I started out at the hut, which was 1,150. And now I think I'm at 800 meters. Still got a ways to go because car park is at 500 meters. But it flattens out now. Now it's just a long trudge along the riverbed, which is exhausting. Easy to make a mistake. Got to be careful. In about another 20 minutes, I'll stop, have a drink, lose a layer because I'm going to get hot now because I'll be walking in the sun, and here is the sun. And get some trail mix going because I'm hungry. All right, report back later. Here we are. So I've been going just about an hour. Good place to stop, middle of the riverbed. I'm going all the way down there. Come from up there. Shirts off. Getting some sun. Feels glorious, it really does. Just to stand in the sunlight. Oh, natural airing. So nice. Dry my shirt out a bit. Got a bit sweaty coming down. Had my polyprop on underneath. This is a beautiful spot to stop. I'm gonna have something to eat, chug some water, and then non-stop to the car. It's been a good trip. It's nice that it's ended with nice weather like this, but I could have done with this yesterday. Because then I could have stayed in the tent. But hey ho, is what it is. I enjoyed the hut. All right,
time for some food. So, I'm off the riverbed now, onto the track. Look at that scene behind me. Pick that up. That's just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So yeah, I'm on the track. That took an hour and 40 minutes from the hut to here, but I did stop for about 10 minutes and had some scroggin and some drink. It's a bit bumpy here, so I won't bother filming it. But what a day. What a day. Spectacular. Can't wait to come back. Some really deep snow up there with some major avalanches. I don't know if you can actually pick that out. But the tops up there are clear, no snow, or a tiny bit. So I think come up here in another week or so. This just feels like spring. It's so warm in the sun. Listen to the crickets and the birds. There's good growth coming through. The deer are going to be out. This is a fantastic start to the year. Spring's come early. Got to get up here, get hunting, get on the tops, get tenting. That might be another couple of weeks, 3 weeks before we can get up there though. It's pretty deep snow. Right, onto the car. 2 hours, 23 minutes, including my break. And I'm at the bottom of the track. The last bit's a bit weird on the mole track coming down because it's actually a paddock with cows in, although there weren't any cows in there today. Just breaking out now. The bush. You can see the Taki Lodge in the background. That's where Nelson College, where my son goes to. It's where they send them for their orienteering training, camping, things like that, outdoor activity stuff. It's an awesome idea. Some really big manuka trees, big manuka tree plants here. It's a lovely little spot. So all I've got to do is cross this river. Now this is why they say you can't really come here, shouldn't take this route. If the river's in flood, then it's impossible to cross. So what do you look for? You just look for a safe spot to cross. I'll show you where I'm going to go. Found a couple of rocks you can step on. 1, 2, 3, and across. And I've still got dry feet. Look at that. It was a good trip. I enjoyed it. Didn't enjoy the rain. Could have been a lot worse. I mean, I could have got to the top there and that storm could have kicked in earlier. I did well to avoid that. Look at this country. Just look at it. I hope the camera is doing it some justice. I'm so lucky. I'm so lucky to live in such a beautiful place, safe place, where you can go hunting, hiking, not worry about your safety. And so much to see. So much to see. It's beautiful. So basically this trip, and I'll overlay the GPS data onto it that I tracked with on my iPhone. I use an app called iHike NZ GPS. It's got all the topo maps built in. I'll overlay that so you can see the track I took up, which was the Jameson Ridge track, and the track I came down, which is the mole track, which comes down the river. I didn't have to come down that way. I could have come back down the Jameson Ridge track, but I didn't feel like that grunt at the top. It's pretty boring being in the forest all the way down, whereas the riverbed's beautiful. So, just got to pop out this last bit here, and there's the car. Still there, not broken into, where I left it. There's the road out. So, great trip. When I get back home, I'll give a little summary of what I thought and learned, especially about gear I didn't use and food I didn't use. I've got a feeling I could have saved a couple of kilos in gear. Wow, I've just noticed there's bees or wasps. Whoa, everywhere. Wasps, I think, all around the car. I don't know why. There might be bees. Very strange. Anyway, I'll give a trip report when I get back. Over and out.